station. Let's get into the game. And spawning to the bottom left position as the blue Zerg player, we have representing Team Fnatic at the DreamHack Summer 2013 tournament. Can he defeat his Korean opponent? He's certainly been practicing hard. Let's see what he can come up with. It is MiniRaser. And he's going to be facing off against a very accomplished, solid Terran player in the top left-hand corner. He's played StarCraft for a very long time. He's never quite been top drawer, but he's always been there or thereabouts. Let's see what his consistent performances can bring him this weekend. We have, representing complexity, it is the STC.
So, as we've already mentioned, JoRoSaR, we did actually see straight away that actually the STC, last year at DreamHack Valencia, got to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
MiniRaser's arguably biggest achievement to date was actually an event we cast, the ESED UK Masters 2013 Season 1, where he came fourth, very narrowly missing out up against Johnny Rico, the Scottish Zerg player. And that actually was a 2-3 result. So, very, very close games there. And I actually remember casting those. They were pretty ridiculous. But for this game, he's had a lot more practice. He's on Fnatic now.
He has had a lot more practice, and I think that's very important to note. MiniRaser is seen by a lot of people as being not particularly... but then again, his practice regime has completely changed. He's now joined the Fnatic Academy, and the amount he's currently practicing, I think we're going to see possibly a big shift in the way he plays the game. And I'm really, really interested to see what kind of strategies he brings out here against the STC, because I think we should be able to see MiniRaser give him a really good run for his money as long as he's on form today.
I think that's a really fair thing to say, and actually the one thing I do want to point out is that these aren't forced cross spawns positions.
No.
And that's actually really important on Star Station, especially for the STC. He could go for something a bit more aggressive here. He's getting the Reaper out, as we can see now, and actually in these spawn positions that's incredibly potent because he can get down, jump up the cliff and in the main base exceptionally fast, and Reaper on Star Station anyway is fantastically strong because there is just so much cliff area. Is the STC going to go the right way first? Well, probably not. He's just rallied it across the map.
That's right.
And it's because Star Station is so frequently forced cross-spawn.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. The STC is going to scout a whole lot of empty over here in the bottom right-hand corner, and then he's going to realize with his Reaper, wait, hang on a second, there's nothing here. Oopsie daisy. We can see him immediately diverting that Reaper as appropriate. Now, we have got a second Reaper out on the field now for him as well. So both of them, I believe, are going to be converging on the bottom left location, so they will be able to give MiniRaser a little bit of grief. And the STC is pausing for a second. I suspect it's because he wants to know if it's force cross. But I don't think it is.
No, it isn't force cross spawns, which we both have identified. This is the map that they're meant to be playing on. It is the DreamHack version of the map.
That's right, yep. This is definitely the correct map.
They both had the same problem, and actually they both thought that they were forced cross-spawn positions because they did actually both go and scout in the cross-spawn positions, so therefore they're aware of it, so I guess they've both been caught out of it, so no one really got an advantage or disadvantage.
So here's what's happening right now, guys. The STC is raising his hand, frantically getting an admin to come over, and in about 45 seconds time the admin will tell the STC that it's not forced cross-spawns, and he'll go, okay then. Oh, wait, there we go. Slightly accelerated process. And the game will become unpaused. 3, 2, 1, excitement as the game resumes.
Now that doesn't actually matter too much. I think we should point out that if for whatever reason MiniRaser was completely aware that it wasn't forced cross spawns, then yeah, it would have been maybe a bit of an advantage for him. But because of this, the STC, both players thought it was forced cross spawns and reacted appropriately, so not a great deal lost. And these Reapers can still be just oh so effective.
A lot of cliff area for these Reapers to try and come up on Star Station, but look at where the Reaper is. MiniRaser sees the entry points for the Reapers, absolutely no problem at all. Oh, a little bit late sending the Queen out though. You don't really want Lings alone, especially without speed, fighting against these Reapers in the early game. But right now, a couple of Lings... Oh, almost getting in there actually. Very, very close, trying to annoy the reactor, but it only goes to about half health, not burning down just yet. And one Reaper came back to defend against that. The other one is still attempting to be annoying outside the natural expansion.
Now, the thing is, these two both now in a relatively even situation. STC did go in for a lot of Reaper harass, didn't actually kill a single worker as far as I'm aware.
Yep.
So that, again, it's not going to really do much damage, and MiniRaser defended it really nicely, pushing those queens out, going up to 4 queens now, which is always great against Terran.
Absolutely.
But this follow-up push from STC, well, he's already got that tech lab down, he's getting down some additional Hellions too. And he's got his natural base up. MiniRaser is now under pressure to take his third, and STC is going to be pressuring him to try and prevent that.
Oh, and a queen, yes, getting a single Reaper there. The other one busy running out of the base, injecting himself with a lot of drugs, because that's what Reapers do these days. And oh, just spots the timing on that third hatchery as well. And he's going to give it a couple of prods to let MiniRaser know that he has seen that hatchery go down, and he might be intent on trying to do some damage to it. We do have a couple of Hellions now moving out towards the natural expansion. The Reaper still continuing to be annoying, but healing up when out of battle there, and 3 Hellions are going to go into the natural. Will he get some drones? Yes, he will, and they're lining up. Oh, good split there by MiniRaser, trying to prevent the path of those Hellions. A couple more drones go down. Bear in mind, this is 3 Hellions, so is it going to be worth it? 9 workers killed in total this game. Not too bad a job so far.
Now, the other really tiny thing that I wanted to point out was actually MiniRaser with that... Ooh, these Hellions are going to do some damage. Luckily getting shut down. I think they only got a single drone kill there.
Yeah, not actually that much. MiniRaser was already in position to defend against that, so that follow-up Hellion push there wasn't as good as the initial push from the SC, but he has killed 10 workers, and the current worker supply is 36 to 34 in MiniRaser's favor. Don't forget, we've got double Mule coming down from the Terran half of the map as well. It looks like he is going to be quite intent on going into a reasonable amount of bio. Here comes the starport a little bit later than anticipated, because we did pump a couple of minerals into that defense at the start of the natural, and also the Hellion play as well.
Now, as things stand for the time being, we are just seeing STC going into full macro up mode. He's getting the starport down, Stim is completing, happily just sitting back, macroing up. Meanwhile, MiniRaser, he's got his third, but look at that, Baneling less than a good number of Zerglings and Roaches on the field. He's ready to really push this back, and it's all because of the scouting Zergling. Such a smart move getting that down.
Zergling does see that this little army is popping down here. We've got the MMM, except it's the mine rather than the minivac on this particular occasion. He's going to try and harass the third base, which is so open on Star Station and so difficult to defend. And we have the second Widow mine. Ooh, only targeting a single Zergling though, and all of a sudden the SCC has to go home. There are way too many Roaches and Queens here, and it looks like this third base is going to be safe for now. Bear in mind the 2 Widow mines are still there, and MiniRaser should probably get a little bit of detection ASAP, otherwise this could do a bit of damage.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit irritating for him, but he doesn't have his lair down. He's only just starting that now, which is a really late lair timing. And that's because he's pumped out units to try and defend this. The Queen does take a shot from the Widow Mine there. Couple of infantry units getting through, but with transfuses, not going to matter a great deal. But MiniRaser, he's a little behind in supply. He needs to get some more drones out, but he's been forced to make so many Zerglings.
Yeah, 20 Lings on the way at the moment. 1-1 are on the way, but there's still just under 2 in-game minutes from completion here. The SEC has a couple of idle workers here at the gas, so he probably wants to be mining a little bit more than otherwise. This is going to be important when he starts pumping medevac production. Look at this, double medevacs, but note that he only has 60 gas right now, and there we go, problem immediately rectified. As more infrastructure gets put down for our Terran play, a little bit of a skirmish at the watchtower. The SEC looking like he might be setting up for a drop here.
Yeah, he's going to go ready to go in there, but straight away Spore Crawler's going down for MiniRaser as he scouts that. He's got good map presence with running these speedlings around, but the drop is going to make its way forward. With the Spore Crawlers nearly complete, could be tough, but there's a nice little angle that he can get in on. The Queen needs to get back there to try and help defend. The Zergling's already getting pulled. Good reaction speed out of MiniRaser, drop denied. And the big question I've got is, what's MiniRaser's work account looking like at the moment, JoRoSaR?
Whoopsie daisy, hang on a second, Battles, and no, it looks like the medevac is going to survive for now, but is definitely in a precarious position. The work account is currently 47 to 48 in MiniRaser's favor.
Oh, just outside the third base, we've got a big engagement coming down here, and this is where Baneling connections could be massive. Great surround there by MiniRaser.
Oh, Destiny would have had a thing or two to say about the way that particular Baneling hit was accomplished. They're wrapping around with those Zerglings and allowing those Banelings to get that beautiful connection they want, and this Bio Ball is going to try and target down the Baneling, but I don't think they're going to get it at all. A little bit surprised he didn't just try and do as much damage to the units as possible. Baneling currently going to have maybe a follow-up drop can pick it off.
It's one of those things which you've always got a bit of tiny bit careful about. But the big thing MiniRaser needs to be cautious for the moment with is, yes, drops are coming in, but actually his drone count is pretty low, and that's why I'm really glad to see in the production tab he's getting more drones out. His third base is nowhere near saturated, and at the same time, the SDC is taking his third. So you've got to make sure that you stay ahead economically as a Zerg player. And for the moment, MiniRaser is always defending and always being forced to make units.
And here comes the drop coming back into the main base there. He's going to drop it off of Creep. And the Spore Crawler, well, he is going to see it because of this Overload on top, so that's not going to be too much of a problem as well. Another attack going in towards the third base location, but just trying to distract from the drop. But we do have Roaches and Queens here, and all of a sudden the SC cannot get a word in edgeways. The Medivacs do meet up, but they're only going to meet up to retreat.
Now, as things stand, STC is slightly ahead economically, as far as I'm concerned. He's got his third base up, he's got a couple more workers, or very equal worker count, plus those mules. MiniRaser, though, has really held off against these drop-heavy styles, this aggressive harassment style play of constantly pushing in, and that's great. But unless he really gets himself into a spot where he gets his economy going or deals some economical damage to his opponent, long-term, he can't sustain this style of play.
I think a good way to possibly describe this is that MiniRaser has done a fantastic, phenomenal job of defending so far in this game. I don't think we can disagree that the STC really hasn't been able to do the amount of damage he ideally would have wanted to do to MiniRaser. So he's been very, very solid. The problem is we haven't seen any aggression come out of MiniRaser, and that's going to be, in the long term, a little bit of an issue, as the STC can basically macro up at free will.
But he keeps sending these small armies, these small little forces at MiniRaser, and MiniRaser so far hasn't been able to push them back, and once more sending those Zerglings, going to go and cut off the retreat. Good bailing hit goes down, but an even better pickup from STC there. But here comes the counter aggression that we've been talking about. This third base does look a little vulnerable, but many a Widowmine is having a bit of a party.
Oh, very nice couple of hits on the Widowmine there. We've got the counter drop. We have 4 Medivacs with about 3 Medivacs worth of units here, and a couple of units moving in towards the natural expansion as well. This is looking like a full-on aggression from both players. MiniRaser appears to have foregone his defense to try and get as much damage done as possible back at the third base. He's chasing units back into the natural. A couple more Widowmines defending here, and back inside the main we have Lings surrounding this, but there are Medivacs healing up. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it looks like it. The STC having to pick up there. Still 3 Marines actually picking off a building there as well. That's pretty huge. In the meantime, we have the aggression still continuing, but MiniRaser is going to be forced to pull back. I think the STC got out of that one a little bit better, because he's currently about 30 supply ahead, and he's ahead in the worker count as well.
Now, this is the thing for MiniRaser now. He can't easily go back into drone production because he's always going to be feeling that threat of what if STC comes and attacks me. I need units. He's going to be pumping units, as we can see from the production tab at the moment. But he needs those drones. If he doesn't get his economy in a good spot, he's going to struggle, because I don't actually think he even killed many workers during that push, just because the STC had such great Widowmine placement.
Those Widowmines were so crucial. The first one, I think, killed off something like 16 Zerglings. Very, very strong Widowmine. And it was only after that the MiniRaser started splitting, but by that point his army had started taking a couple of dents in it, and that's really not what you want to do when you're counterattacking like that. You want to be able to swarm through. You don't want to destroy all the defenses and then trickle through with a couple of units, because then you don't get the economic damage.
Oh, here we go. Big push coming forward. The Widowmines are in a good spot. The Bailings are all clumped up. Big Bailing hits go down.
Oh my god, that was terrifically horrible for our Zerg player there. GG. Widowmine kills approximately 20 million Banelings. And that attack gets completely crushed. The STC takes game number